So, I wasn't sure what I was going to read tonight, so I brought a bunch of different things. So I figured I would decide while I was listening to everybody else. And there seems to be kind of an S&M theme in some of the things that we've heard tonight. So I think I'll start with this. It's a short thing. I think I'll read two short. What I think I'm going to do is read two short sex scenes from stories that are not primarily erotic stories. And this one is from a story called El Nino, which was just published in a literary magazine called Cantaraville. And this story, I'm going to start in the middle where the sex scene starts, so I'll tell you what happens up to that point. The main character, Rob, has arranged with his wife that he's going to have a sexual encounter with their friend, whatever her name is. You'll figure out, with a friend of theirs who is married to another friend of theirs. So he's made this arrangement with his wife that he's going to have a rendezvous with another woman, and to fulfill this fantasy of his. So here's where it starts. It's 8 o'clock. Oh, by the way, this all takes place in Birmingham, Alabama, and it's okay. It's down in the south. So it's 8 o'clock, an unusually warm night in January, when Rob arrives at the 4-story commercial building that houses the hair salon, the Tease, where he finds the front door unlocked and the creaky stairway dark. He ascends with trembling legs. I don't think I may have skipped the part where I explained that the woman works as a receptionist at this hair salon. At the salon door on the second floor, he almost turns back, but it opens as he faces it. Amy, that's her name, Amy, wearing a blue kimono, instructs him to come in, remove his clothes, fold them, and stack them neatly in the corner. There's a blanket spread on the floor in front of a metal shelf of Paul Mitchell and Aveda products, and she bids him to sit down there. She reclines on the pink leather sofa, normally used by customers while they wait for their cut and color. 2 afternoons a week when she's not in class for nursing school, Amy works here answering the phone and making appointments. Okay, there it is. Her own hair is meticulously styled, medium short and curly, dyed a custom vampiric magenta, the regular maintenance of which is part of her compensation for working at the salon. Before we start, I should tell you that Edie and I have agreed on some limitations. She hushes him with a slender finger to the lip. That's between you and Edie. It has nothing to do with me. If you want me to stop at any point, just use your safe word. Say the word and everything stops. Now, would you like some wine? There's only one glass. She feeds sips of wine to him through deep kisses. She asks him what his safe word is going to be, that it can be anything, even something ridiculous, as long as it's easily distinguished from protests that are meant as part of the play. After some rumination, he settles on bananas. Then she asks if he brought the things he was supposed to bring. He points at his backpack next to the folded clothing. She digs out the 4 adjustable nylon cat collars with grommets that he purchased earlier that day. After inspecting them for sturdiness, she installs them on his wrists and ankles, then leads him into the main room. Then she takes 4 short lengths of chain, about 1/4 inch in thickness, out of a sewing bag, and she clips them to the wrist and ankle collars using snap clasps. Seating him in one of the nearby barber's chairs, she secures him by wrapping the chains from his ankles around the bars of the foot pedestal and then clasping them together. She clips the chains from his wrist to something at the back of the chair. Next, she applies hot wax to his legs. This sadomasochistic exercise was her fantasy to play out, not his. He finds the wax annoying and not very erotic, but she keeps teasing his cock and balls all the while, so he lets her keep doing it. And then he says, "Banana." He doesn't quite get the word out, but he can feel the fear burning in his own eyes as Amy hovers her mouth above his cock, a breath away. Despite his discomfort, despite his distrust, it is liberating to give himself up just this little bit. She unchains him from the chair and leads him back to the blanket on his hands and knees. Digging through his backpack, she finds the dildo he brought, and buckles it into a black leather harness she's already wearing underneath her kimono, waves the green-black silicone cock in his face, brings it to his lips. There is no taste. When she removes it from his mouth and slides a condom on it, he braces himself. The plunge is imminent. He's tense, and there's more pain than pleasure. After about a minute, he makes her stop. Bananas, that's it. She seems disappointed, but never loses her smile. Will you get me off? He thinks a second before he answers, no. I know. It's a sad story. Somehow he thinks this act of restraint will help absolve him of the futility and guilt he feels washing over him. She gets herself off with her vibrator while he watches, his mind wandering, feeling too shameful to enjoy the view. He thinks of how he will tell this story, how he will emphasize the unsexiness of it, where he will add humor to mask the pain, when he realizes his audience for this story are the two people he can't tell about it.